The health of 40-year-old men in America is absolutely shocking right now. It is unbelievably bad. And if you're a man who is approaching 40 or you're in your 40s, it is absolutely imperative that you take urgent steps to make sure that this is not you. I'm going to share some very alarming statistics with you. What on earth has happened to countries like the United States, United Kingdom over the last few decades? Health has really fallen off a cliff, but I'm going to tell you why this is especially worrying for 40-year-old men. Number one, approximately 50% of men who hit 40 are now obese. You got that? Not overweight, but clinically obese. So their body mass index is hitting 30. This is so very concerning because it's not only a cosmetic issue. What abdominal fat especially brings with it, if we're talking about fat around the belly, is raging insulin resistance and inflammation. Fat is also going to be deposited around the bodily organs. And insulin resistance means that the risk of a whole host of diseases is increased. Most people think of type 2 diabetes, but other diseases as well, which I will come to. So when you see a 40-year-old man with that big gut, they are clinically obese, that is absolutely raging insulin resistance and inflammation. Number two, in the 40s, heart disease becomes the biggest risk factor for men. And sadly now, with health falling off a cliff, metabolic health on the decline, the rates of heart disease are really increasing. So what used to hit men in their 50s or 60s is now increasingly starting to hit age 40. We are seeing dramatic increases in heart disease. It was already a risk factor, but it's getting even worse. So if you're a man who's hitting 40 years old and you know that your metabolic health has fallen off a cliff, that is very likely going to go with increased risk of heart disease. Number three, testosterone levels are really in the tank. Testosterone levels naturally start decreasing in men from their 30s. But what we're seeing due to metabolic health being so bad, we are seeing that hormonally men are being affected in a very negative way, no more so than with testosterone levels. And research is increasingly showing that testosterone levels are decreasing rapidly compared to a 40-year-old from 30 or 40 years ago. Men now have a fraction of the testosterone levels, and this is also going to have knock-on effects in other areas of life as well. There is a direct link between fat accumulation and testosterone levels going down. Number four, avoiding healthcare. Men in general are much more likely than women to avoid healthcare. They often wait until things get too late. They resist going to see a doctor. Everybody knows that this is the case in general for men. Maybe men want to be more brave, or maybe they are afraid of doctors and healthcare. This might be acceptable if men are healthy at baseline, but when you have 40-year-old men now at increasing risk of many, many illnesses, some of which I've already outlined, it's a big problem. Men really need to go and see a doctor, get regular blood tests, make sure that if there are any red flag symptoms, that things are nipped in the bud. You don't want to let things get to the point of no return. So the fact that men are now avoiding healthcare when their health is so bad is not a very good combination. And number five, mental health decline. Do not forget that insulin resistance, inflammation, and increased body fat percentage have a massive link with mental health. It makes sense, and not enough doctors talk about this. If your body is inflamed, your organs are inflamed, your brain is also going to be inflamed. And there's a direct link between poor mental health and insulin resistance fat accumulation. So you're much more likely to have higher stress levels. You're likely to have increased rates of depression, other mental health issues. And the best way to help solve this and get the needle moving in the right direction is to work on rebuilding metabolic health. There's also mental health issues for other reasons. I mean, how many men in their 40s, we see this all around us, highly professional, qualified men, they realize that they've climbed the wrong ladder They're not happy at work. They are arriving at work completely exhausted. Their internal values don't align with what they're doing for work. They feel like they have no purpose in what they're doing, and that's not a good thing for a man. But of course, they may have golden handcuffs. They have the feeling that they have this secure paycheck, whatever that means in the age of AI, and they have tons of responsibilities, family responsibilities. It's not easy to just switch jobs. And way too many men out there, millions, especially professional men, are completely stuck. They're not enjoying what they're doing. And it's a very sorry state of affairs. And obviously, that's going to affect mental health and very likely have a spillover to home life as well. So that's something to really think about as well. If you're a 40-year-old man, all right, your metabolic health, of course, is the foundation of everything. But even if you rebuild that, you want to have a career where you feel fulfilled. That is so important. Obviously, that's not something that can be fixed overnight. So those are some shocking statistics about the health of a typical 40-year-old man in the United States. And we've gone very badly wrong over the last few years. The whole culture is wrong. And sadly now, modern mainstream culture is utterly toxic. People are set up for this default path, which starts even earlier in their 30s, now even in their 20s, where people are not prioritizing their health and well-being in ways like they used to. All around us, everything that is advertised, food, other habits, trying to drag people in the wrong direction. The way that work life is set up, it's all go, go, go. Modern mainstream culture is pulling men towards this. And I believe as a doctor, we're only at the tip of the iceberg. I think statistics are going to get much worse over the next few years unless the country drags itself out of this complete mess we are in. Because guess what? When men who are supposed to be in the prime of their lives, 40 years old, is not old by any stretch of the imagination. When more men show up with clarity, with purpose, making their health and well-being number one, the country is a better place. So if you are a 40-year-old man and you look in the mirror and you know that your health is already on the decline, I urge you to make this a priority. You will be better in all aspects of your life. You'll be better at home. You'll be better at work once you have the mentality of understanding that nothing comes before your health and well-being. You are way too young to have let your metabolic health slip. So rebuild it. Check in the links down below if you would like more help, if you would like to work with me on the process of rebuilding your metabolic health. Also check out my 30-day MetThrive M5 Health Kickstarter, where you can get moving in the right direction if you have let things slip over the last few years. The best day to have started this health journey was yesterday. The second best day is today. We will speak in the next video.